even Phil Parker's defense cannot mask a bad offense, and that's saying something because Michigan's defense could not mask a bad offense here tonight. Iowa at least wins these games, these lesser games on the road. How could we not? I'll tell you why. But first and foremost, I want to say congratulations to Washington for winning this game at home. Great crowd. Our players were slipping all over the place. I don't know if we should have put inch-long spikes on their cleats, but wow, they were falling down left and right. But nonetheless, good game for you guys. You are now tied with Michigan 2-2 in the Big Ten, I believe, and you have the head-to-head over Michigan. 27-17 was the score that I had, but opposite. I thought Michigan would win that way, but it was Washington. All right, for those, now we're going to get into it. For those who wanted Tuttle, he was good on his first drive. He was coming in for Orji when he caught Washington's defense off balance. He ran around, but then he had 2 turnovers after that. Why didn't we take him out, put Orji back in? That's one of my big thing is let Orji do his thing. Why did you take him out? And then, yes, anyway. I'll get to it. Orji should have been the guy the whole time. Because Tuttle is a turnover machine. Warren is a turnover machine. Orji is not. And he can run the ball. Yes, he had a couple of passes batted down because he was eyeing down receivers. He didn't have the progression that Tuttle showed he had. But what happened to that late in the game? Tuttle folded. That was the worst time to put a new quarterback in. Run with Orji. Keep it rolling. Keep running the ball. That's a reason that Michigan lost this game. They did not run the ball. All right, so some of this is play calling not helping Tuttle out at that point by not running the ball. But he fumbled, and he had that interception, and that is not pretty as well. You know who is a runner, and that is Alex Orji. He does not turn the ball over either. I don't know why they took him out. Let smash mouth football be smash mouth football. Where are the read options? Where are the opportunities for Orji to run the ball? There were none. I liked how they brought in Edwards after Mullings just wasn't getting it done with the speedy, light, quick defense that Washington has. And then they put in Edwards, a more electric, speedy guy, and he got around those guys for a touchdown. But the ingenuity just wasn't there. Keep Orji and keep running the ball. That's what won. That's what's got us to this point. That's just the offense. The Michigan defense is getting more predictable every game as well. And Wink doesn't know how to make the elite offense get 8 yards instead of 30 yards. He's got people on islands. He doesn't disguise things as good as his disciples did, the 2 that were previous at Michigan. I'm just saying. Maybe there's too much talent on this defense to waste, and he's asking too much, I think, of all of them. And you never heard Will Johnson's name until that pass interference at the end of the game, and he grabbed the guy's face mask and the roughing the passer on the same play, which sealed the game pretty much for Michigan. No, there was a couple of sacks, and it was TJ Guy, and then Josiah Stewart had a sack too, right? But where is the interceptions, the knockdowns? There were too many wide open people. wide open. And how is that when you know that they have elite offensive weapons? Wink. How did that happen? God, he's got a 1-year contract in my book. If he doesn't finish out better with the talent he has, I know it's hard when your offense sucks, but Iowa seemed to do it for decades, or for at least a decade anyway. Why can't we do it? Come on, this year. Will Rogers against this defense was 21 of 31 for 271 yards and 8.7 average. And while that in itself should not beat Michigan, they were able to run the ball as well. And then their Wildcat quarterback came in, I told you about in the pre-game show. He was 2 for 2 passing for 44 yards, and he had 20 yards rushing on 5 carries. He was a key factor on a very important drive in this game. Marched him down, helped Will Rogers, just like Tuttle helped Orji, but then Orji should have came back in, just like Will Rogers came back in. When did Washington stop Michigan's run game? When did they do that all game? Let me know. We went away from it on our own. We went away from it on our own. Why? It was working. 3 yards and a first down, sometimes 4th down. But we got that, and just Mullings, he's a beast. Feed him. And then Edwards, too. I liked how they had Edwards outside, and he got a 15-yard catch, finally, in this offense. But and then there was a play action, too, that Orji had. Why did they go away from Orji? I don't understand. I don't get it. If it's because of the Tuttle pressure, it's your fault, Tuttle fans. It's your fault that Michigan lost this game. And the turnovers they had, and 2 of them were from Tuttle. That's the difference. And the fact that Michigan went away from the run game. Boston opened up this game for Washington. The first play of the game, 35-yard catch. Coleman then had a 10-yard run up the middle. On 3rd and 9, it was stuffed, and they had a 41-yard field goal that was missed. They missed 2 field goals in this game. This could have been a lot worse than it was. Mullings had an 8-yard run to open the Michigan's drive. A play action to Loveland for 6 yards, like I talked about. It was working. Mullings had a 4-yard run, then a false start on the road. That crowd. Morris had an 8-yard catch, though. On 3rd and 3, Orji had a 5-yard keeper up the middle. And then a dumb-ass flea flicker. It was a reverse, then a flea flicker back in no time to do it. It was stupid. We were moving the ball, we were running the ball, and then we tried to be too cute. We did this every drive this game. I'm sick of it. Just run the fucking ball, Michigan. On 3rd and 9, it was offside, so that made a 3rd and 4 possible, and a pass was behind the wide receiver by Orji. All right, he passed it behind him as he was getting drilled up the middle. We punted to Washington's 17-yard line. Coleman then had an 8-yard run. What the hell? What happened, Kenneth Grant and Mason Graham? I thought you guys were able to stop that. But then TJ Guy had a sack, one of them sacks I talked about, on 3rd and 10. Jackson had a 39-yard catch. So, and then on 3rd and 8, Boston had a 13-yard catch. So another 3rd down backbreaker. They kept doing that all game. The wide receiver core with the quarterbacks were awesome for Washington. I understand you have to have a passing attack to win games, but Michigan doesn't. They just hold them teams off the field and run the ball because we don't have one. We don't have a passing attack. If we do, we'll turn it over. But it was it was like knife through butter sometimes with this wide receiver room versus Michigan's defense. Looking at you, Wink. Keep things in front. Make them get 8 instead of 30. Jackson had a 5-yard catch. Coleman then had an 11-yard run. And on 3rd and goal, Hill slipped in the end zone. He could have batted that ball down, but he slipped, and it was an easy catch for Boston. 3-yard touchdown catch. And it was 7-0 Washington. Michigan then went 3 and out on the next possession. They passed. Just run. Washington got the ball, and they went 3 and out to end the first quarter. They punted to Michigan's 21-yard line. In the second quarter, Edwards had a 4-yard run. So this is where they took out Mullings. They put in Edwards, a speedier guy, against that speedier, quicker defense. And it worked. 4-yard run, 7-yard run. On 3rd and 7, there's a batted pass from Orji. Orji needs to go through progressions better. It was a punt to Washington. Okay, so it comes later anyway. Sorry. Washington then, Latu had a 16-yard catch. Coleman, 6-yard run. A double pass to Davis for 37 yards. Jackson had a 15-yard touchdown catch. Knife through butter. 14-0. Washington in like 7 plays. Michigan got the ball, and this is when Tuttle came in. Too early. Yes, we're down 14-0, but there's no need. He did have 2 runs, 1 pass, and a first down in his first possession. Then he had an 8-yard scramble, and then Edwards had an 8-yard run, and then Tuttle had a 6-yard run, and then this is where Edwards had that 39-yard touchdown run. It was 14-7, Washington. And all right, I said, all right, Tuttle might be good, but it turns out, why did you take out Orji? All right, hindsight's 2020. We scored a touchdown, and then we forced a 3 and out, and got the ball back on our 17-yard line with 4:27 left in the game. Loveland had a 5-yard catch. Edwards had an 11-yard run. Tuttle found Edwards for 15 yards, plus a hands to the face penalty on Washington, moved it 15 more yards. Edwards had an 8-yard run. And then on 3rd and 2, Mullings was stuffed. And Michigan kicked the field goal on 4th and medium. Should they have went for it? I was saying go for it at this point. You're down 14. A field goal does you no good. And it turns out they kicked the field goal, and it was 14-10, Washington. And then with a minute 49 left, I was worried because Boston had a 12-yard catch. Williams had a 17-yard catch. Boston had a 16-yard catch. Latu had an 11-yard catch. Catches all around. Catches for everybody in consecutive order. The fuck, Wink. With 4 seconds left, the 28-yard field goal was blocked by Michigan. So it was 14-10 at halftime. It could have been 20-10 if they would have made their 2 field goals. It was a disaster. What can we do? Come out and run the ball, right? That's what Michigan did to start the 3rd quarter. They came out, 11 plays, 75 yards, 6.5 minutes taken off the clock. Everything we wanted to do, took the lead. Mullings had a 7-yard run, Loveland 5-yard catch, Morgan a 4-yard sweep. A false start backed us up. But then on 3rd and 10, there was an Amorian Walker sighting at Michigan. Holy shit. The guy who started here years ago left, then came back, didn't have any catches or attempts this season. He completed a huge 3rd and 10 for us. 22-yard catch on that 3rd and 10. Mullings had a 6-yard run, and then Tuttle had a first down dive to the goal line. I liked that, but you know, if it was Orji, he could have just ran right up and maybe got more yards. Morgan had a 16-yard swing catch to the outside. Tuttle scrambled and found Loveland for an 8-yard touchdown. So a huge drive by Tuttle to open the second half. Whoever wanted this, Tuttle is looking smart at this point in time. It was 17-14 Michigan. And then Washington got the ball back. And a first down swing pass to Coleman. And then Josiah Stewart had a nice sack. But then Jackson had a 17-yard catch right after that. Coleman, 7-yard run. And on 3rd and 4, it was a total blitz. And it forced an incompletion, but the guy was open. A nice fake on the punt reception led to a touchback, which gave Michigan the ball at the 25-yard line. What could we do now? Well, Lynch batted down a big play. At the line of scrimmage, it was wide open. Same thing Orji was doing earlier. Williams had a 3-yard run. Or no, it was a 3-and-out for Michigan. They punted to Washington's 44-yard line. Desmond Williams then came in. This is when the Wildcat quarterback for them came in. 5-yard run, then a 3-yard run. Then Latu had a 14-yard catch. This guy Latu. And then 3rd and 6. Williams to Hunter for 7 yards. Then Williams had a 9-yard run. He came back in, so they were bringing in each quarterback there on that drive. A big hit by Jair Hill, though. And then a sack by everybody by Michigan. Finally, they collapsed the pocket on the quarterback and got him. But on 3rd and goal from the 20, Latu had a 9-yard catch. And then Gross finally made a field goal. It was from 28-yard line. It was tied 17-all. Michigan, on their very next possession in the 4th quarter now, the grass tackled another player. This time it was Edwards. He had it. He tried to cut back. It was wide open. He would have been gone for a lot of yards. But he fell right there. What was that about? Shouldn't the equipment staff know what size spikes they should have on their cleats? This time it was Edwards slipping. On 3rd and 6, it was incomplete, and it was a 3-and-out. A punt to Washington's 32-yard line. Hunter had a 15-yard catch for Washington. Jackson had a 6-yard catch. Latu, 9-yard catch, and they were marching down the field. And then Houseman. Finally, we had a glimmer of hope on defense. Houseman got the interception over his head, leaped up. Someone was just a foot short earlier in the game of doing that. But Houseman got it, man. We needed it at our own 19. Mullings had a 7-yard run to open up that drive. Then a 2-yard run. Then on 3rd and 1, Mullings had a 3-yard run. And then we went away from it. Tuttle fumbled the ball inside our 35-yard line. Why not keep running the ball at that moment in time? You're tied. That's what you do best. They haven't stopped it yet. What the fuck is going on, Sharon? Come on. Come on. Coleman had a 27-yard run right after that. Then Wink wasn't ready and wasted a timeout with 6:41 left in this game, which may or may not have been costly. Turned out it wasn't. Coleman had a 4-yard touchdown run, and they had a 7-point lead, 24-17. Michigan got the ball back. Edwards had a 5-yard run. They put Edwards in, took Mullings out. Then Edwards had a 3-yard run. And then Mullings on 3rd and 2 had a 2-yard run. But it was reviewed, and it was inches away, so 4th and inches. Mullings got the yard that he needed. But then a full start on Michigan caught him, and then Tuttle had all day. Why aren't we continuing to run the ball? Tuttle had all day back in the pocket and threw a pick right to Washington. Game over right there at our own 31-yard line. Washington went and kicked a field goal, 27-17. They won the game. This coaching staff is doing their best to just screw up everything that we did last year. And it's working. And it's working. I just hope that going forward they stick with Orji and Mullings and do the fucking triple option. I don't care. We don't have anyone that can pass efficiently. We don't have the receivers this season. You have to play to your players. And it helps your defense when you keep running the ball, sustaining drives, and eating the clock. I've been saying this for years. They did it last year. Complete third downs, yes, when you need to. But when it's third and short all the time, just run the fucking ball. They couldn't stop it. We stopped it for them. And then they took advantage. That's what happened. Congratulations, Washington. I can't wait to see what Michigan does after their bye week. They have a whole week, 2 weeks, to figure out what the hell they're going to do in the next game. And it's got to be Orji and Mullings and Edwards. I liked Edwards coming in. I understood the philosophy where, a speedier defense requires a speedier running back. More physical defense, Mullings is your guy. I get that. And I also get Michigan cannot pass the ball. I get that too. Run. Just run. What do you guys think? An L for Michigan, 4-2 now on the season, 2-1 in the Big Ten. Can they still make a playoff? I don't think we're getting to the Big Ten title game now. That's not going to happen. We're losing to Ohio State. And maybe Oregon. But can we salvage a season is what I am asking. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you everyone for watching. Like the video even though you probably don't. And share with others, all that stuff. Subscribe. Have a great night even though it isn't. Go Blue though.